Hi, I'm FB and this is TM News, April 15th, 2015, beginning with the latest results. And first off this week is Dave's 21-minute cup, which had its 10th and final race of its second season taking place on Friday. Going into this last race, 5 players all had the chance to take home the win, but in the end, Speedy, who was in the lead going into the last race, was able to keep his nearest opponents behind him by taking 5th place. With this win, Speedy takes home $20 as well as 2,500 planets. Second place went to Tommy and third place to Morris89. Another season that came to its end last week was my own FB's Weekly. Here we already knew that before going into the last race, the winner would be JaviFlyer, and he further secured that first place by taking second in the last race. As a reward, he took home €20. Second and third place, however, was still not decided, and 5 players in Wally, Shorty, Spam, Tween and Roa all had a chance to get on the podium. Wally would end up winning the last race and with that taking second place in the season and €15. We saw Roa unfortunately getting a disconnect in the last race, and Tween was a bit too much behind, leaving Shorty and Spam to square up for third place. Spam initially had the advantage by being at second place and also occupying the best lap for a long time, while Shorty had a bad start to the race and was outside of the top 10. But as the race went on, Shorty would climb up in the rankings, while at the same time Spam lost his best lap to Wally late into the race and also lost his second place to JaviFlyer. All this was enough for Shorty to stay in front of Spam with merely 3 points to take the last podium position in the season and the €5 that came with it. Over at ESL, the playoffs of both Canyon Team and Solo Premiership have started up. Beginning with the team tournament, which had its quarterfinals played as of late. Soniac and Sauerkraut Z won their matches in the top of the bracket and will face off against each other in the upcoming semifinal. In the lower side of the bracket, Nova and Focus on 1 took home their matches and subsequently will play versus each other in the second semifinal. In the solo tournament, most of the round of 32 matches have been played, with perhaps the most notable result being that the German player Mayo fell to his fellow countryman Smitterins with a close 2-1 score. Otherwise, the main favorite seemed to be the recent Gamers Assembly 2015 winner Riolu, who easily won his round of 32 match and will now go up against the Swedish player Eric in the round of 16. Now back to Stadium and TM Masters Team Cup 2015, which also had its quarterfinals played on Sunday. The big upset here was undoubtedly that Team Acer would end up losing against Fun Team with a quick 2-0 score. It wasn't even that close as Fun Team, led by Tween and Beat, dominated the match and deservingly went through to the semifinals. Their opponents there will be Penta, who struggled to defeat the upset Speedo team. In the other side of the bracket, Back to Business won a tough match against Team Hot with a 2-1 score, and their opponents will be Team Dingtas, who once again prevailed versus BX3, this time with a 2-1 score. Lastly for results, over this busy past weekend we also had another 24-hour race happening, this time purely driven on the dirt surface and hosted by Infinity Gamers for the 6th time in total. The winning team turned out to be the favorites Pulse 1, led by their powerhouse Pepino. In total, they drove through over 16,000 checkpoints, which was about 30 more than second place, which went to Team Fox, and about 50 more than NWT, who took third. The full results can be found on the official website. Moving on to community news. Mania Exchange continues to host their Knockout Cup on every Saturday. They already have more than enough maps to use when it comes to Canyon, but they are lacking both well-suited Stadium and Valley maps. As a result, a topic has now been opened with a request for people to send their Stadium and Valley maps to be used in the Knockout. If you're interested in submitting your maps, then you'll find all the necessary information in this topic that is linked to below. That's all I had for community news this week, and now for upcoming events. Later tonight at 9:30 PM CEST, the third race in the BA Championship F1 season will take place. This will be played on the China GP, and as always, no registration is needed to participate. Simply download the Stadium F1 title pack and be on the server before it starts to be eligible to play. On Thursday at 9 PM CEST, the 40th edition of the Planet Millions Cup will happen. I'll be honest when I say I don't exactly know the format for this cup, other than it being played on all 3 TM2 environments. Also, you apparently need to register for the cup, assumedly on their website, but I'm also not sure about that. But in any case, if you want to try and figure out how to participate in this cup, then you'll find a couple of useful links in the summary below. Moving on to the weekend, and specifically on Sunday at 10 AM CEST in the morning, when another round of the Ultimate F1 racing season will start up. In contrast to the BA Championship, this one will be played on the Adelaide GP. More information if you want to participate can be found on their website ultimatef1racing.com. To end the episode, the semi-finals of TM Masters Team Cup 2015, Back to Business vs Team Dignitas and Fun Team vs Penta have its default times set to Sunday at 8 PM CEST. The winners will of course then advance to the grand final, where €250 will be at stake. Information on how to potentially watch these matches is provided in the description. And that's all I had for this week. Thanks everyone for watching, remember to rate and comment on this video if you want, and I'll see you next time.